He's on his way. He's on his way. He's on his way. He's on his way. Slightly reminds me of that weird uncle. Quesarito, 7 months to the Side Delusional Club. Get ready to learn Whataburger. No, don't. Don't actually. Put a pin in that one. Speaking of pin. ¿Dónde está? Whataburger In-N-Out. We've had this conversation a million times. In-N-Out annihilates Whataburger. It's not even remotely close. I don't even think it's up for a shred of debate. This is coming from a Texan born and raised. Okay? In-N-Out clears Whataburger by a million miles. By a million miles. Pain meds kicking in? No, this is sober as it gets. Only thing that's kicking in is this Nespresso. In-N-Out tastes like cardboard with ketchup. That's blasphemous. Honest to God, that's one of the worst takes I've ever seen. What is it? What does Whataburger do better than In-N-Out? In-N-Out tastes better. It's lighter. Honestly, I have friends that are like bodybuilders who like eat In-N-Out on cuts. You go to Whataburger, you taste the grease just seeping through every bite. And you know, there's something to that. Maybe sometimes that is good. But you go to Whataburger for lunch, your ass is done for the rest of the fucking day. Okay? That's it. You're done. It's over for you. You understand? In-N-Out, it's not even close. It's not even up for debate, man. In-N-Out is delicious. Whataburger's In-N-Out, I'll tell you that much. Do the math in your head what that means, but it's true. Oh. Hey. Hey. Slightly the type of dude to brush his teeth with poop. Has that sentence ever been said to anyone else? I gotta ask, has that sentence ever been said to anyone? You see, like, the disrespect I get on just a daily basis opening up this platform? Has that sentence ever been said to another person? Yeah, I'll stream free agency. Oh, by the way, we've already had 2 members. Logan, 35 months. Whataburger so overrated, it's depressing. I got my cast put on yesterday. This one is 4 weeks. They said, they looked at the x-rays. They said, you have such big and beautiful ankles. Well, no, they didn't say I had big, beautiful ankles. They said I had such strong ankles. They said recovery's going great. And they said at the time, they said 3 more weeks in a cast and you'll be in a walking boot and that's that. But then they scheduled my appointment for 4 weeks from now. So I guess it's 4 weeks. But I'm almost done. So we're watching the presser stream. So I've got this. I'm gonna let you guys sign the cast. We're gonna have some fun signing the cast. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm just gonna pick a random member or a random donation over the course of the stream and let them sign it whatever they want. So yeah. Now, unless I was gonna do like the biggest donation or whatever, but that seems a little strange. Unless there's like a stupid donation. Ready for Eurobasket end of August? Fuck yeah, I'm ready for that. I love that shit. Come on, England! Is England in it? I saw a funny comment on Instagram that said Ace Bailey would rather serve crack than serve the Utah Jazz. Thoughts? That seems a little like microaggression-y. I do know that funny Logan with the 2 stupid donation. Thank you, Logan. Nothing stupid about that. All right, once I got the stream up here off to the side. Once it gets going, we'll get into it. Has there ever been a good British basketball player? OG Anunoby. Pussy Liquor with the 199. Please don't win. Please don't win, Pussy Liquor. Please don't win. Told you about Nimhard. I'm Nico's right-hand man. Thank you, Pussy Liquor. It's crashed or froze. This just says it'll begin shortly. It hasn't started yet, has it? They all say starting soon. No chat? Are you serious? They turned off chat? They slightly hate me? No, I love you. I did ban somebody off the channel today. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Helps me out tremendously. Let's YouTube know we're having a great time, of which we are. 220 of you in here, 22 likes, folks. That's 10%. Need to do better than that. No, some dude in the comments that was view watching, which, by the way, I gotta say, I'm having a great month across both my channels. The Clips channel is doing fantastic. Like, in terms of rate growth, like percentage growth, it's one of the best any of my channels has ever done the past month or two. But I wasn't gonna ban him because I don't care about that. But then I looked at his comment history, and the last comment was, "Why is Slightly getting fat again?" Yeah, you're gone, buddy. You're out of here. Okay. Oh, here we go. You get up there, kid. There goes my heroes. Can we not hear him?
Get to the questions. I mean, what an amazing day for the fans of Dallas, for the city of Dallas, and then also for the franchise.
Speak up!
Kelly, Ralph, I want to commend you on the job you've done with Cooper. Not only putting the ball in his hands, but the person that you've raised. Everybody that I talked to whether it's the coach. He talks about when I can coach my best player hard.
No dumb
job's
questions,
easy.
please.
So, J-Kids, you
Do
can
not
coach him
ask
hard.
Cooper
Cool.
Flagg a Luka question. Please, God.
His teammates, the first thing they say is he's the most competitive. He's the best teammate I ever had. The people that are around the team, the support staff, like he's not entitled. He just wants to be part of the group. When you talk about building a championship culture and you talk about winners, those are the things that are made of. And so just want to commend you on the job you've done because he's more than just a basketball player, and that's why he's so special. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Look at these comments, bro.
Welcome to Dallas, Cooper. We're happy you're here. First question, you're a versatile two-way threat. If you had to pick, would you rather make a big block or posterize someone with the dunk?
Oh. Great first question. Great first question.
That's a good question. I think maybe a dunk, maybe a posterized dunk. I feel like, there's a lot of energy that goes with a play like that.
All right, thank you.
Is that a kid? Yeah. It's a new era.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. Welcome to Dallas. Shortly after the Mavericks got the #1 pick, there was a video that surfaced of you, 13, 14 years old, in a Mavericks shirt. Could you just give us the context behind that moment, that decision to wear that shirt, and what did you know about the franchise growing up in Maine?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was 13 years old. I had a really good friend who is a diehard Mavericks fan.
That was me.
He's a little older than me, and he had kind of outgrown some of his clothes, so he, lent them down to me. And at the time, you're just wearing what you can, going through wearing clothes. And I love basketball, and so I just put it on and went for my workout.
And then, do you know the summer league plan for you at all? I know it's still pretty early, but yesterday they announced that the Mavericks are going to be playing the Lakers. Just wanted to know if you had any plans.
I'm not exactly sure on a plan. I'm planning on playing. But, yeah, I'm not sure on any sort of plan. I don't think we've had any of those conversations.
Yeah. Coop, you're going up against Bronny James. What's the scouting report on Bronny?
You seem so excited to see Knipple and Malawach both get drafted. What does the success of your teammates mean to you, and how are you going to take that to the NBA?
Absolutely. I think it means everything to me, especially those two guys. They're the greatest teammates, the greatest people, that I've had the privilege of spending time with.
We might do some pausing. I love that second question's great. Why'd you wear a shirt when you were 13?
My roommate all year, and then
I like Mike Curtis, but that's a
me and him
funny
have
ass
really
question.
Special bond on and off the court. So I think just being able to see that for them was really special for me. They mean a lot to me, and I think it's just such a dream come true for all of us that it was just really exciting for me.
Tim McMahon, ESPN.
Uh-oh. Look out, guys.
There's a statue of Dirk outside the arena. Obviously, he was the face of this franchise for a long time. He kind of handed the baton to Luka. The anticipation is he would have been the face for a long time. Plans changed. There's now that anticipation for you. How do you feel about kind of that lineage and the responsibility that comes with those sort of expectations?
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming in just trying to learn and trying to get better every single day. And I think if I can do that to the best of my ability, I think expectations and pressures that other people, will put on me and our team, that will kind of work itself out. So, I'm just trying to come in and be the best that I can be and just win at the highest level.
Hey, Cooper, Christian Clark with The
Good
Athletic.
answer.
A lot of #1 picks. They're joining situations where it's gonna take a while to be competitive. What are your thoughts on coming into a situation where
Guys, look at the fucking chat.
Talent and veteran pieces already on the roster and kind of built to compete right now?
Yeah, I think it's a blessing. Like you said, a lot of people in this position or this situation aren't, granted this opportunity. So I just feel really blessed and grateful for the situation I've been given. And I'm just looking forward to being a sponge, just
Hey,
getting down
guys,
here.
it's the
Excited
Cooper
to
Flagg
just
press
learn.
conference, guys. Not me, not mine.
Learn from the guys that are older and have been through it all before.
Cooper, Joey started with Clutch Points over here. We talked to
Clutch
Paige
Points
the other
has
day,
credentialed
Paige
reporters?
Beckers, and she said that she gave you a hard time for going to Duke instead of UConn. Want to get your thoughts on that, and then also just her
I'm
overall
about
game.
to.
What do you
I'm
think
about to
about
release
her
more
game
hats.
with her playing in Dallas as well?
Yeah, I mean, she's great. Obviously, I went on a visit to UConn, and I was able to meet her when I was on my visit and talk a little bit. She's a great person. She's had an incredible career so far. But I think it's funny. I mean, that's just kind of how that back and forth college stuff goes. So I think it's funny. But yeah, she's a great player. She's had a great career, and she's a great person.
Skylar Dixon with the AP. Cooper, this is quite the scene. The hoopla is
Unbelievable.
Probably
Slightly
go up
tubby,
from
right.
here. How does being at a program like Duke, a storied program like that, help you sort of deal with what this is today and what you're going to face going forward?
Yeah, I think being able to go to Duke and be under that spotlight, it's kind of a good preparation. And then even nowadays with the NIL era and stuff like that, college kids are kind of under a bigger microscope than ever. So I think it's a great preparation, honestly, for me to kind of come to the next level. And
All these guys are so media trained, like it's actually kind of crazy. Like there's just no, and I respect it. Like, you're not going to get an insane answer, but sometimes you like to, maybe sometimes you like an insane answer.
I've had a year to kind of deal with a lot of that stuff in the media and all that different stuff. So I think it's just great for me to kind of have that year of preparation.
Cooper.
Yeah, not Ace Bailey. That's true.
Cooper, Sam Gannon, Fox 4, congratulations. I know you're a fan of the lobster roll, but now coming to Dallas, are you ready to embrace the Texas barbecue and Mexican food scene?
Nico Harrison just perked up at that question. Nico Harrison is listening intently to this. Okay? Coop, you love lobster rolls. Now are you ready for barbecue? Nico's like, well, are you? Tell us the truth.
For sure, I love Mexican. I love barbecue. So I'm excited to, find some good spots.
Nico's like, all right, write that
Cooper,
down.
Landon Thomas, Mavs
Write
fans
that down.
for life. Not a lot of number one picks have the luxury of playing with future Hall of Famers when you have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis. What excites you about that?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, just being able to be a sponge. Those guys have so much knowledge. They've been through so much and they have so much experience that it's just going to be an incredible opportunity for me to learn and grow under them.
Cooper, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. Fans and media.
Thank you, Nico. Only idiots think someone who got the number one pick out of sheer dumb luck. Thank you, Nico.
Have been trying to pencil you into the lineup, unsure whether guard, forward. What do you primarily see yourself playing, after talking to Jason?
I think it's a versatile position, doing a lot of different things. I think, with the team, looking at the roster, we can play a really good brand of positionless basketball with a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. So I think that would be one of, the biggest strengths, and I think just trying to play to that and just doing whatever I can to help the team win.
Jason, Eddie Sefko, Mavs.com. You've been and have been around a lot of young
okay, we're on to the kid questions now.
How do you go about molding Cooper and bringing him along to become the star that everybody thinks he will be?
Yeah, I think just from past experiences, being in this seat, being one, but just sitting here listening to him, is it incredible? I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old who has all the right answers.
Yeah, true, kid.
And is talking about working out after this.
I'm not going to be here.
But, when you talk about his gift,
I'm not going to be
he's
here.
a basketball player, and he's a winner.
I'm getting trolled in the fucking
I
chat.
thought he answered the question about position.
There's Shams Bomb trolling me in the
because
fucking
I don't look at the
WFAA
position.
chat.
I want to put him at the point guard. I want to make him uncomfortable. And see how he reacts.
So this is the thing. Kid did this with Giannis. Kid put the ball in Giannis's hands early. He's going to do this straight up. He's going to play him at point guard. I'm here for it. I've said this. I'm down for it to be ugly at first. It's going to be a little bit ugly at first. That's all right with me.
Being able to run the show, being able to play the 2, play the 3. He's comfortable playing.
So first two things mentioned being a guard.
And I think he's going to respond in a positive way. It's all right to fail. It's all right to turn the ball over. We've talked about that
Wait, kid's kind of
just
fucking
understanding
spitting
the guys
right
that
now.
I've been around that have been young, from Giannis, giving him the ball and he failed, but he wanted to come back and have the ball. So I'm excited about giving him the ball against the Lakers and see what happens. Let's get it started right off the bat.
He's talking about the Summer League game, guys. He's talking about the Summer League game.
But, you know, I think just his poise, he's going to be successful for a long time. He likes to work. He's not afraid to work, and he comes from a great family. So I'm very blessed, and the Mavs are very blessed to have him a part of the family.
I actually
Cooper,
did just get a
Dorothy
Shams
Gentry,
notification.
iMessenger Media, 2 fun questions for you.
Andre
Who's on
Drummond's
your
picked up
Mount
his $5 million
Rushmore
player
for
option.
NBA
So, guys,
and
we're going to
WNBA?
pause the Flagg press conference, and we're going to start talking about this Andre Drummond thing.
NBA players. And what's your favorite basketball movie and why?
My favorite basketball movie is Hoosiers. You know, that was one of my favorite movies growing up.
This is the loudest it can
Watched
be.
it hundreds of times. My Mount Rushmore of NBA players, I would say
Say Dirk, please.
Larry Bird, Michael Jordan,
Dirk. Just say it.
LeBron,
Dirk.
and probably Kobe. And then WNBA, Candace Parker,
Paige Beckers.
Brittany Griner,
Paige Beckers.
I think Asia Wilson is on there.
Peja.
And then
Paige
I might put Caitlin Clark on there just because she's
We'll
changed the game
get to
so
him.
much
Well, don't
and
worry
it's
about
going
it.
in the
We'll
right
get to him.
direction. I just love what she's been able to do.
In the back, Newey Scruggs, NBC5. Question for you, Jason. Having sat in that seat before when you were drafted number 2 overall, knowing the expectations that the fan base has and representing hope, what's the one bit of advice that you could give Cooper that maybe you
Back
didn't
at Cooper?
have when you first came
Wow,
to town
'cause he's a Caitlin
with
Clark
all
fan?
the hope and hype being a number 1 pick?
Yeah, I think he brought it up earlier. He's very lucky to have veterans, future Hall of Famers.
True.
When you talk about Kai and Clay and then AD, just understanding the vets.
What does this mean?
You know, protect him and help him. And they're gonna
Cooper looks
push
like
him.
skinny slightly.
When I was drafted, we were maybe the youngest team. When you talk about Jimmy and Jamal, we just didn't have a lot of vets. I know Mo Wiley's here. No disrespect, he was a vet. But we didn't have future Hall of Famers. So I think when he's stepping into this situation, there's no better situation.
So
for
there's a
him to
blonde glass
learn,
ankle loser. Luke is in the
game,
chat, guys.
on and off
All
the
right.
floor.
Jonah Javad here with WFAA. Cooper, your parents are front row and have been an integral part of your journey, I'm sure. Was there a moment growing up in childhood that you remember when they kind of really fostered your love for the game?
Is anyone else kind of surprised that no one's asked Nico a question yet? Is he still on the stage? I'm honestly surprised and proud of the Dallas media that they haven't derailed this. I'm sure he's going to get some questions soon. Stringer, can't wait for Cooper to block slightly. That ain't happening. I'm telling you that right now. Slightly hasn't
As soon
showered
as I
since he
can
broke his
remember.
baby
I
boy
always
ankle.
had a ball in my hands. As soon as I was able to shoot outside.
That's not true. I've said this before, but I've put a chair in my shower, and it's very emasculating and embarrassing. But it's the way I can shower.
We had an outdoor hoop, you know, mom, dad outside playing pig with us, shooting around with us, just kind of having the ball in our hands at a really young age. So they're definitely, you know, the people that did that, and, you know, I'm very thankful that they did.
Cooper, Lawrence Dow of Fort Worth Star Telegram. You chose the number 32. Can you talk about what went behind that choice of jersey number?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
interested
32 has
about
always
this.
been my number. I wore it as a little kid, wore it in middle school, high school. Last year, obviously, it's retired for Christian Leitner, so I wasn't able to wear it, but I'm just excited to get back to my number.
Okay.
Cooper,
All right.
Faith Knight with D210 Sports. Being the second youngest draft number 1 pick overall behind LeBron James, what
That is
advantage
so
do you feel
crazy.
you possess that has helped you get to this point in your career?
I think just having incredible people around me. I have a really good support system and group of people around me that have, you know, helped me make decisions and things like that. Starting with my parents and my brothers have been with me every step of the way and kind of helped me to get to where I am in every way. So I think just having incredible people around me is really the biggest thing that's helped me to get to where I am.
Abby Jones,
Wait.
Abby Jones, DLS Sports. Cooper, welcome to Dallas and congratulations. This is a two-part for Cooper and Jason. Your team, your experience with Team USA and playing there, how has that kind of contributed to how you're going to transition?
No one
into
wants to write articles about
NBA?
Nico?
And then Jason, with your experience with Team USA as well and the Olympic staff, as a player and now a head coach, how are you able to, manage Cooper and meet him there?
Yeah, I think that experience was, really important for me. It was such a good learning experience for me to just be able to go out there and share the court with 12, 13 Hall of Fame caliber players. So I think it was just incredible for me to get on the court, get comfortable, and see what that was like. So I think that will help me make this transition and just being confident in myself.
Hey, Cooper,
Do my
Pat
viewers-
Doney with NBC here in Dallas. Welcome to Dallas here in the middle. Everyone around you talks about your competitiveness and that you've always been driven.
Saw that he's wearing a
by
hat to cover up
being
his grease
great
ball hair.
from a young age.
Where's
I'm
the grease?
Curious, what is it that drives you, and what are your expectations?
Where's the grease?
When it comes to now your NBA career, to not make this the highlight of your career, getting to the NBA, being the #1 pick?
No, don't forget that question. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Wait, what
the
did he say?
competitiveness, I think it just started from a young age, playing with my brothers,
Caroline's
playing
going
with my
back.
mom in the driveway, fostering that competitive spirit and just loving to win. I think that's, a really big part of it is just loving to win. And that's why I play the game. I play to win, play to compete, play to play really hard. And so those are the reasons that I love the game and I fell in love with the game. And I think that's what's kind of created that competitive spirit and drive.
Noah Weber from the Smoking Cuban.
Yeah,
welcome
Noah.
to Dallas. This is a question for both you and Coach Kidd. Cooper, from your conversation so far with your head coach and your general manager, what do you think that Mavericks culture is and how can you add to that? And Coach Kidd, with how you know Cooper so far, how do you think that he can add to Mavs culture and what y'all have built?
Yeah, I think obviously something that's talked a lot about is, being a two-way guy. The culture of playing both sides of the ball, playing really hard, making the right plays all the time. So I think that's something I'm able to do, at a high level, just make the right plays and play both sides of the ball.
I think when you talk about the culture about winning, as he's just brought up, he's going to do whatever it takes to win.
If you look at this fucking chat. If you step foot in Little Elm, Texas, you will become a campfire story?
He might have 10 points one night and 2 steals, but just understanding that it's all about the W's. And so the culture here in Mavs land is about winning, and it's about winning a championship.
The hell does that even mean, bro? A campfire story?
Cooper, Grant Afseth from DallasHoopsJournal.com. What do you feel like you improved the most during your season at Duke, and what are some of the focuses in your development right now as you put in reps?
Yeah, I think just getting comfortable with the ball in my hands. Coach Shire really trusted me with that right away, and I had to go through some mistakes, some trials, some tribulations, and just figure it out. But Coach Shire never went away from me, never stopped trusting me, and I think that's kind of what helped to just really get me comfortable throughout the year and get really efficient.
Michelle Montaigne, WFAA. This one's for Nico. Obviously a great draft, but there was a consensus #1 in this one. How does having Cooper change
First
the
Nico
trajectory
question.
of the franchise? And then for Jason, what's the best part of getting to coach a player like this who's just 18 years old?
So Michelle, I think how it changes the trajectory. We're in win now mode, and so he adds to that. But he's also the future of the franchise. So I think you get 2 in 1, so to speak. So it's perfect storm for us.
Shams bomb.
To be able to coach the #1 pick, I think we're all blessed and excited.
Aaron Holiday back to the
to have the opportunity to coach
Rockets.
a young man like this is exciting, and going to the drawing board, as I said, trying to get him to be uncomfortable quickly, to see how he handles it, and that's hopefully running the point guard for us and putting him in different situations. But I'm excited to have someone like this to help us win.
Rashad Miller, Dallas Weekly. Of course, you brought up Christian Laettner earlier. Just talk about him and just the former and current Mavericks that have played at Duke. Just what they mean to you, and also,
you being part of the new generation with your brothers that you just played with?
Yeah, I think it's incredible. Obviously, starting with Duke, you know, the path, and I looked at past players, and that went into my recruitment. Obviously, watching Tatum and Paolo and Zion and some of those guys that.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to pause real quick. I just got. This is what you never want to see. My car insurance, 6-month charge just hit. Wasn't expecting it.
Kind of had the hype and went through it and went to Duke and were able to develop and get to the next level.
Fuck out of here,
that was
Geico.
huge for me, and I think obviously having, you know, a bunch of people from the Brotherhood, you know, here, Kyrie, D-Live, like that's just huge connections that can help me to, you know, be comfortable and have those connections already built.
Sean Giggy, WFA. Cooper, you look just to last week. You see the Thunder, the second youngest team to win an NBA championship. Pacers also
Congratulations,
one of the
Thunder.
youngest teams in the league. You're about to help some kids with basketball after this. You're arguably closer in age to the kids you're about to help than many of your teammates. How do you think your youth is going to help a team like this? And do you also think what some of the drawbacks are to being so young?
I'm not sure how, you know, my age will play into it, but I'm just excited to bring my game to the table and just, you know, bring the energy, both sides of the ball, and just, you know, try and impact winning in a lot of different ways. I don't really know what the hardest part will be. I guess
There won't be a hard part, King. There won't be a hard part for you.
Cooper, Christian Clark here with The Athletic. I think you were 4 years old when Kyrie got drafted, 5 when AD. I was just curious. I mean, do you remember anything from those guys' college careers? Like, do you have any memories or anything like that?
No, I didn't watch them in college at all. But, you know, growing up, I got to see them, you know, shine and, you know, play in the league a lot. And those are the two guys that I was able to watch a lot of growing up.
This is a question for Cooper, right here. So you grew up with a twin brother. I'd like to hear, what would you say that your favorite basketball stories with him, and how was he pushed?
All right, I'm going to fast forward to the twin brother question just to get
Memories
closer
of,
to the
you know,
front.
being kids and just enjoying to compete.
I'm sure it's a
Mike
sweet
Curtis,
answer.
Dallas Morning News. Cooper, when you look back at your rookie season a year from now, what do you hope people say about you?
I would say just they would talk about how I was able to impact the game. I want to be a really high impact player and just impact
Sean with the 2, Geico Payment Fund. Kid sounds really excited. He does, actually.
winning at a really high level.
Cooper,
Great
Abby
answer.
Jones,
Great
DLL
answer.
Sports. Jason Kidd talks about your work ethic and wanting you to be in those uncomfortable situations. What are you looking forward to about your first season in the league and maybe the uncomfortable situations he's kind of talking about, how you can grow and expand in your game?
Good question.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I would say, just learning, growing, and getting better through all the challenges and obstacles that are going to present themselves. Just looking forward to going through the season and learning. But, I mean, it's something that Coach Shire talked a lot about last year. The obstacle is the way, and not, you know, hiding from anything. There's going to be a lot of challenges, so just being ready to, you know, face challenges and overcome them.
Ron Murray, K104, this right here.
Add slightly biased. Want your back broken, too. The fuck are you going to do, Elijah? I'd beat your ass with a broken ankle.
This question for Coach Kidd and Cooper. Coach Kidd, you see how the NBA is evolving with different ball handlers, not necessarily the pure point guard era. So just your thoughts on what you'd like to see from Cooper going into this. And Cooper, you know, what do you like to do off the court, like when it's not strictly basketball?
Yeah, I think being able to have Cooper, he can handle the ball, as he's
True.
brought up. And so as we go forward this summer and throughout the season is to try to get the ball in his hands as much as possible so they become comfortable running our offense. And then when you have multiple guys out there that can dribble and pass, it just makes the game simple and easy.
Cooper.
True.
Over here, Leslie McCaslin with Dallas Mavericks. I'm curious, obviously you didn't get to watch him play when you were younger, but what do you know about your head coach's playing career, if anything?
It was it was in black and white, so definitely didn't see it.
No, I mean, I didn't get to watch it a ton. I'm going to have to freshen up, you know, do my research.
Yeah,
but
watch
I
some
think,
kid tape.
You know, everybody talks about how legendary of a player he was. So I think, I'll have to watch some more and figure that out, but he was a killer. So
Thank you.
a winner.
Right this way.
Yep.
So talk a little bit more about the brotherhood and your relationship with D Live. Could you go into that a little bit?
I'm
deeper?
actually interested
Yeah,
in
I
this.
think,
Do they have a relationship?
Derek came back during last year when we were, in the preseason part of everything, and just being around. He was present. We were able to talk to him, hang out with him on and off the court. So I think it was really cool, just to meet him and kind of build a relationship with him. He's a really, really cool guy. So I'm just excited to continue to build a relationship with him and be able to share the court with him as well.
Nico Harrison, Newey Scruggs here, Channel
Here we
5.
go.
Drafting Cooper Flagg, obviously fans have been happy. They're buying the jerseys. Do you think this helps heal part of your relationship with the fans after everything this past season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will help. Most importantly, I think it just, we're in win now mode, and we have a really good team, and Cooper adds to that. So I think the fans finally start to see the vision.
This question's for both Nico and
The vision, bro. Hey, you know what? I do got to respect it. I have to respect Nico's just steadfast. This is the vision, guys. This was the vision. You guys didn't see it at the time, but now it's clear and obvious. Oh, now Marcel's getting involved? Save me from a burning building in Vietnam. I would never fight that in that unjust war.
Coach Kidd. I'm just curious, when did you ever watch or see Cooper play in person, and what were just your initial impressions of him?
Well, when I first watched him play, my first impressions were, wow, it'd be great to have the #1 pick. But nah, just the way, he impacted the game on both sides.
It'd be great to have him as the #1 pick, and that's why we did it. That's why we did it. I just love the Paul with the $2 willful ignorance. I just love the I honestly it's just hilarious to me.
Sides of the ball, and he played super hard, and so that was my initial reaction. And again, us not thinking we would have a chance to draft him, I didn't put too much stock into it. It was more of a dream.
Cooper, you've played at a lot of different areas and environments, the toughest competition. We've seen footage online that you've played at Rucker Park, the street ball capital of the world in New York. Yep. What are your thoughts about how well you played there, your personal thoughts?
I think just competing. Some of those events sometimes you get away from, real basketball and real competition. But I think just being myself, competing at a high level, and just trying to.
Wait a second. That was kind of a good answer. That answer kind of gets me going a little tiny bit. Get away from real basketball. This guy's a hooper. This guy's a basketball player.
To win.
Freshman of the year like a basketball player. You guys know what that's from?
Cooper, Brad Townsend from the Dallas Morning News again. I'm sure in the last 48 hours there's been a lot of wow moments. I really am a pro walking across the stage. I wondered about, it looked like you had pretty good accommodations on your flight here. And I was wondering if you could just describe that and your impressions of Patrick Dumont.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Like you said, it's been really shocking. A surreal feeling still. Just being here, being in these moments. But I think it's been incredible. And I think, being able to meet Patrick and his family was incredible. They have an incredible family. So I'm just looking forward to, continuing to build a relationship with them.
Dorothy Gentry, iMessenger Media, right down here again, Cooper. 2 more fun questions for you. What's on your playlist? What kind of music do you listen to? 1, and then 3 things that you cannot live without.
Listen to whatever. So whatever, whoever I'm with, my teammates, whatever they want to listen to. Golf.
Over here? Yeah. Jonah Javad, WFAA. Actually, a 2-parter now that you bring up golf. 1, what's your handicap, and are you looking forward to playing with the 2 guys next to you? And 2, what have you known about Texas and maybe the DFW area, whether it's from talking to D-Live or Kyrie or your high school teammate Liam McNeely, who's from Richardson?
Yeah, so I think I'm around a 13, 14 handicap.
That's
and
it?
I'm looking forward to playing them as long as they'll give me some strokes.
Whoa.
So that is part of that. And then I would say, as far as the area, obviously, like you said, my old teammate Liam, is from this area, and I was able to visit him a little bit. And I've been through the area a little bit, but it's an incredible area. It's really beautiful. I'm excited to learn the city a little bit more.
Cooper here in the back, 33 Sports, Daniel Stevet. Jonah kind of took the thunder with the golf question, but I'm curious, you are in Dallas. Scotty Scheffler, Will Zalatoris, Bryson DeChambeau. Perhaps if you get a chance to play with them, maybe you can take these guys sitting next to you. Are you planning on playing with some of the big stars in golf?
I don't know if I'm good enough for that, but that would be an incredible experience for sure.
All right.
Sally Bice was 38 years old when Coop was born. No wonder his hairline looks like that. I got kicked by Sally Bice with his cast at HEB yesterday. It was an honor. You're fucking right, and I'll do it again.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. One more thing. We're going to do pictures.
All right, so that was it. Nothing too crazy. Oh, that's Aura. That is Aura. You're getting cooked in the chat. I know. Like, what did I don't understand, man. You guys can't focus on the press conference for more than 2 seconds? Like, this is Zoomers. What you're looking at is Zoomers, man. Zoomers and Gen Alpha.
Good.
Slight bias reminds me of all the good parts of Jeffrey Dahmer. What does that mean? That's one of the most insane things somebody's ever said to someone. How do I remind you of all the good parts of Jeffrey Dahmer? Squiggly with the $2. Thoughts on number 32. Does it have Aura? Well, Josh Hamilton, right? Don't look up what he's done off the field. Josh Hamilton, Evan Carter. Okay, Josh Hamilton won an MVP for the Texas Rangers. Evan Carter's hooping, right? He's playing really well, isn't he? Jamal Mashburn. I'm more thinking, I'm sure there's been some good Cowboys. Isn't that a safety number? Wait, 31 is what was his name? Roy Williams? Brandon Bass. Evan won us an ALCS. That's right. More chats about Slightly than about Flagg, who has more aura. Honest to God. Good question. Saw these ankles are as stable as the Pelicans organization. No, that's why they did surgery to make my ankles more stable. They said it was great. 32 is a running back number. Have we had a 32? Orlando Scandrick? Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's just forget that one. Orlando Scandrick. Oh. Sadly drinks his own cast sweat. Jesus Christ. That's repulsive to even think about. That is repugnant. All right. Well, hey, any big takeaways from that press conference? OJ Mayo wore 32. Oh. Mark Aguirre was in attendance. Rolando Blackman was in attendance. Sean Marion, Josh Howard. No Dirk, but from what I understand, Dirk's in Germany, isn't he? Thank you, media, for not being obnoxious. Yeah, no, a little surprising. Like, we've had a couple of questions. Nico's, you see the vision comments are insulting and nobody will check him on it. Sadly can't show his face in Little Elm. Yeah, that's true. Somebody seems to eat drywall. I don't own any drywall. You have to be willfully stupid to not understand that this was all coordinated. The obvious question that can't be explained, why trade for an injured AD in February? Well, to be fair, they thought he'd be back in a couple weeks. Like, AD and Luka's return were supposed to kind of be at the same time. Then it just so happened that AD got hurt right away. Tim McMahon was really the worst one. That's expected. He's kind of a shit stir. Even that was tame. Honestly, I thought we'd get something crazy from someone. You know? and I have to say, this is just going to be the reality for a lot of people. There will still be the lingering effects of the trade. You'll still hear people, at the draft party, you heard the Fire Nico chants. Those will still be a thing. That'll be like a rallying cry amongst the fan base. I'm here to tell you right now, though, as someone who lives in the city, as someone who has a ton of friends, like, who are massive Mavs fans, like, that's kind of like one of the big commonalities I share with the vast majority of my friends, is being just massive sports fans, and then by extension, massive Mavs fans. Everyone I know is back. Okay. That's just the truth. I still don't know. I don't know anybody that I'm like friends with that is out entirely after the trade. And I think that's probably going to be, by and large, the reality. And so I think there's people online who expect this to just be this constant barrage, and that's just not going to be the case. Things are going to move on. That's just the reality. So I think today was just kind of an example of that in a lot of ways. Corbin with the 199. Love how Jason Kidd says, bring it on about the Lakers. To be fair, he was saying that about their first Summer League game, but that's going to be clipped out of context 100%. That was for sure. He was saying that about their first Summer League game, letting Cooper Flagg play the point guard or whatever. Mavs fans plus moving on equals doesn't happen. No, I mean, it's going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. You saw those clips of all the people lining up to buy Cooper Flagg jerseys? Like, it's moving on might not be the right word. Well, yeah, it is the right word. Moving on without forgetting. How about that? Arena being filled up on draft night shows most are back. Yeah, and again, you're still going to get the Fire Nico stuff. And I wanted to point, I was going to make a point about this on Lockdown, and I asked Nick to remind me, and then I just forgot. It's interesting because it's like nothing has ever happened like this, right? This is unprecedented these last few months for a fan base, but when Cuban was in charge, and by and large, the lead decision maker, or at least the face of most of the decisions, right? There was about 8 shadow GMs. By the way, I saw somebody recently, like in one of my replies, said that Nico is a shadow GM. I don't think you guys understand what that means. Okay. Now, with that being said, Corbin with the 199, it'll definitely get clipped. Go Coop. It's definitely going to get clipped. 100%. Like, I hated... there was a 5-year stretch where I hated pretty much everything the Mavs did. I thought that they were one of the most poorly well-ran teams just from a front office perspective. But I still watched every game. I still cheered for them. I still rooted for them. I still supported them. I think that's just going to kind of be the mindset of most people now. Right? I think that's just going to kind of be the mindset. So, I've seen people just surprised that everyone's back. What's there to be surprised about, man? People want to root for their favorite teams. People have spent decades rooting for a team. And yeah, when one bad thing happens, it's easy to be like, man, I might be done. But then just a couple months later, you get the number 1 overall pick in a draft where this guy's like one of the most highly touted prospects ever. There's no way you thought they were the worst front office when they put together this stacked 10 deep roster. No, I was saying Cuban's decision, back in the mid to late 2010s. I just thought, everything they did was a fucking blunder and misstep pretty much. Nico's vision comment is hilarious. He's trying to tell people his plan was to win the lottery. Such a rare case of a low point to a high point, have to bot back in. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hate online when people are like, I can't believe Mavs fans are back. It's like, really? Why? People want to root for their favorite teams, man. People want to root for their local teams to be good. Dallas is a massive fucking city. How many people live here? 7, 8 million? How many people live in Dallas? The DFW Metroplex? It's a gigantic city. Well, people want to root for their team. People want to root for their franchise that has the city name on the front of the jersey. So, rooting for the team and supporting the front office owners is different. I think fans can support the team at 100% yet be against the higher ups if they want to. Yeah, I mean, this happens at a lot of sports teams. You know, I don't know the exact number, but I'd be interested in knowing just what percentage of fan bases are like, yeah, I like our ownership and our management. Under 50%? Like, I would say less than half of sports fans are happy with their ownership and their management. I mean, I knew right away. I said right after the trade, I was like, dude, I'm going to root for, like, I don't think there's a scenario in which I wouldn't be a fan of the team. You know? I just can't imagine. I've rooted for them my whole life. You know, a difference between them and like the Cowboys, who I've been out on for the last few years, and who I'll still like watch and shit, but I don't really care. I don't keep up with them. I don't even, who's Josh Smith? Was that the guy they drafted? I forget the name of the guy they drafted. Like, I'm not like keeping up with it at all. Really. But I'll be bought back in if they look like they'll make the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck. Right? Tyler Booker. Okay. Yeah, see, like, I don't care. Wyatt Langford, yeah. The thing is I like basketball more. So because of that, I will love my beautiful Cowboys for life, thick and thin. See, I won't. So that's the thing. I won't. So anyways, interesting press conference. You know, Cooper's very media trained. He's sort of been preparing for this moment for years now. How long has it been like Cooper Flagg will be the number 1 overall pick? How long? It's crazy that he reclassified. Imagine next year's class. Imagine next year's class if Flagg was in it. Jesus. Thoughts on the younger Nimhard signing? I mean, I'm excited about it. Next year's class is kind of weak. Isn't it like stupid loaded at the top? Just wait till we add Dabantanza to this core. Who goes first next year if Cooper was in it? Wasn't this like a big debate before he reclassified? I mean, I would say Cooper because what we know, he was freshman. Only the 5th freshman ever to win the Player of the Year award. So I would say him, but you know, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see we'll have to see how these guys go, how these guys look. I saw a mock draft today that had Cam Boozer 3rd. So fourth freshman? Okay, the 4th freshman. Google must have lied then. Darren Peterson is legit too. That might be the guy that I saw going number 1. Nothing else is going on, right? All right. Would go number 1, Coop or AJ. Okay, I have to get good with that guy's name, and I've learned how to say it, but I've already forgot it. Dabastia? Or I thought it was like Dobbins. I'll just call him AJ for the time being. Would you trade Gafford and Clay for White plus picks, I suppose, but I don't know. I mean, I would love to have Derek White, yeah. Paul at the $2. I want Chris Paul so I can get a Paul jersey. I guess Chris Paul is still an option, although I really don't think he is. What's this fucking message? Oh, Chili's. Chili's, you can always text me. Don't worry about it. Yes, I do get texts from Chili's. Do you drip hot candle wax down the cast? What would that even accomplish? You know, like what would that even accomplish? When's the first Summer League game? Yeah, I'll be streaming Summer League. Guys, it's not like I'm going anywhere. Fuck. Chili's wants you to order some Southwest egg rolls. I've been out on Southwest egg rolls lately. Just been out on them. Just doubt on him. This tweet's hilarious. Hold on. Can we shift gears a little tiny bit here? Just a few months ago, the Suns had 2 good assets not named Devin Booker, KD, in the 2031 draft pick. They turned those 2 into Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams, Kaman Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bray, and they do still have 1 first and 1 second remaining. Hell of a job. Destructive Matt. Of course, you get Chili's text. You probably had 10 triple dippers this week. You know, actually, I haven't ate out at all, really. You know, you might think since I'm cooped up at home, there's been a lot of Uber Eats. I've only Uber Eats once in the last month. You know, they're in a much better situation now. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't think they're going to be good at all. I guess they're younger, though, which is nice. You think Coop will start the 1 or the 3 for the Mavs? Definitely the 3. Although that would be very Jason Kidd-esque. Opening night. Flagg's our starting point guard. Segue to your factor promotion. Oh, that's one of those pre-made meal things, huh? Hey, I'll factor into an HEB promotion. I don't need a... all I need is an HEB promotion. That's it. I would love to work with HEB in some capacity. Guys, I want to figure out, does somebody have an in with Love Field, the airport? Does somebody have an in with Love Field Airport? Because I want more than anything to be there for the unveiling of the Cooper flagpole. I think that would be hilarious. Lots of national media guys are hating on Dallas now. I noticed our boy Billy, our Billy boy. He was, getting a little fed up with Flagg. I noticed it too. I was listening to Zach Lowe's podcast and it was a little aggressive. I've noticed it. You guys noticed that? Would you play spin the bottle with the Mavs roster? Oh, God. Bro trying to aura farm off Lindsay's tweets. What tweet? You guys are on one today, bro. From what you watch from Cooper and what type of player you believe he'll be, what position would you want Cooper's second star to play? Well, that's what's great about Coop is it is similar to, Tatum in that way. Just that type of player is, I don't really think it matters. Yana, welcome to the Slightly Delusional Club. I think you could just put another player next to him and it doesn't really matter. Slightly, we know you work for the NBA, buddy. You were in on the Luka trade. Scooter kid. Man, leave my scooter out of this, bro. You get, some days I'm just in here by myself and all I've got is this and my cat. You understand? Leave this scooter out of it. Cooper is right now at the Mavs practice facility. Yeah, getting work in immediately. Good. We don't need somebody slacking off. Getting work in. Good. Thank God. Thank God. Hey, you know what? If I got drafted by the Mavericks and they said, what's your Mount Rushmore players? I would say, great question. Ever, all time across all the NBA? Yeah, okay. Dirk Nowitzki, Mark Aguirre, Luka Doncic, Jason Terry, Marquise Daniels, Desana Diop, Al-Farouq Aminu, and JJ Brea. Are you streaming Paige versus Caitlin tonight? Is Caitlin playing? I thought Caitlin was out. Damn, dude. People paid hundreds of dollars. She is playing. She's back. Oh, shit. Check my noties, Scooter. Holy shit, bro. Scooter is fucking crazy, man. Scooter is absolutely nuts. Mark Cuban on Cooper Flagg and where he can play. I'd send a text to J-Kid, point guard, let him bring the ball up. Talks about a lineup of Cooper Flagg, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, or Daniel Gafford. Oh, my God. Dude, that Flagg side-eye was actually kind of crazy. How many times have you made love to your Scooter? Oh, God. Cooper Flagg working with the Mavs Academy kids who are closer in age to him than Kyrie, AD, and Klay. Damn, they're already putting his ass to work. Yo, Nico's not fucking around, man. Nico and Kid, they're not fucking around. They're putting his ass to work immediately. He's not even under contract yet. Hey, get out there. Yeah, I'm just happy to be in Dallas. Yeah, that's sick and all. Hey, we need you to go with the campers. Nico's pulling Cooper Flagg aside. Hey, I heard the answer about barbecue and Tex-Mex. Like, get your ass out on the court right now. Okay. I heard the question. Did you guys see the Dylan Does Basketball video about how the Luka era ended in Dallas? No, I don't need to see it because I lived it and experienced it. Let me see if they're going to have the... Oh, man. They don't have... Playback doesn't have the Wings game on here. Sally's favorite part of the Titanic movie is when people started losing their lives. No, that's easily the worst part of the movie. Hold on, I'm trying to get this clip I did earlier to tweet it, potentially for a viral sensation moment about about the question about barbecue. When was that? When was that? Was that early or what? Found it, guys. Don't worry. Thanks to none of you. I found it myself. Don't worry, guys. I found it. No help to you guys. I found it, guys. No help from you guys, though. No. Nope. When I walk in the club. All right. Well, we got other stuff to talk about today. I want to look at the draft grades, you know. So I come to Brazil and I'll personally have my dad cook you the best Brazilian barbecue. I bet that's fucking delicious. I'd be down to go to Brazil. Townsend posting clips of Cuban talking. All right, let's look at it. Oh, whoops.
Dallas, who was watching, just went nuts. Yeah, we heard.
Hey, my bad, guys.
Yeah, I was there watching.
My bad.
And my son came in, and it was like, we got the 4 pick, and he's like, go put a shirt on. Then I'm like, I'm not moving. I am not moving from this spot. I don't care what. I am not going to be the one who jinxes us now that we got the 4. And then when it happened, Jake and I were going nuts. Called Patrick. We were like 2 kids going to a Taylor Swift concert. So I think everybody in Dallas who was watching just went nuts.
Yeah, we heard that, Patrick.
Yeah, get his ass out there. Any other players, or is it just Flagg?
Dwight Powell trade, right? I remember the Dwight Powell trade, right? Those things happen, but like
The Dwight Powell trade.
That was then. This is now. And the good news is when you can put together a team that, and the front office has done a great job of putting together a team where we can compete, right? And a couple breaks here and there. Kyrie comes back. Cooper is who we expect him to be. And we can have a really, really good team. And where I'll really give Nico and the front office credit is you look at a lot of teams right now, and they're blowing up their teams. They're dropping bombs on their team because of the second apron. I mean, we've got our guys locked up, and with the way the cap's going to move, we should be in really good shape. And, Nico and Kyrie have had a strong enough relationship that, they were able to work together to give us a little wiggle room to have somebody to fit in when Kyrie is out. And so, for all the hell that Nico's got, he's done a great job putting us in a really good position.
Oh. Nico W?
Alice, are you ready to embrace the Texas barbecue and Mexican food scene?
Nico Harrison just perked up at that question. Nico Harrison is listening intently to this. Okay? The most tense moment of the Cooper Flagg intro press conference. Common Nico W. Reed has gifted 1 slightly biased membership. We love it, Reed. Ooh, Aura. Aura. I actually hope the Fire Nico chants stay because I think they are funny. Oh, they'll stay for sure. Have you started the face and body scans for your statue in front of the American Airlines Center? Give me a couple more months at the gym once I'm out of this shit. Paul, 5 gifted members. Hey, if you've gifted a membership, got a membership, or donated, stick around. Stick around at the end of the stream, which I don't know. We're just going to be streaming for a long time. I mean, guys, I have nothing to do. I need you to understand this. I have nothing to fucking do. Okay? I'll pick somebody at random to sign my cast. Stand down and stand by. Stand down and stand by, my beautiful subs. Let's get our Wordle in. When's the last time you nodded your head to a Katy Perry song? What was that one song with Kanye? Alien? E.T.? No bitches? Well, we don't refer to women like that, okay? We treat women with absolute respect here at this community. We love women at this community. Full stop. We don't use that type of terminology. Okay? I can't get up and down the fucking stairs. Dallas got to deal with Houston now. Good luck. This could be a crazy, crazy division. You've got the Mavs, Spurs, Rockets. Grizzlies will still be good. Pelicans. No, you're an alien. Your touch so foreign. Squiggly with the 2. Respecting women is base. We love women here, man. All right, let's do our daily games, and then we're going to look at draft grades. I want to just talk about every team's draft a little bit. What else do we have on the docket? I cannot believe that free agency is on Monday. I mean, that's days away. Masai Ujiri's out. I'm busy at work and can't watch or hear you. You are the GOAT. Thank you, B-Dot. You're the GOAT. Didn't you say you'd shave your head slick bald if the Mavs won the lottery? I think I said if they won the finals, I would do that. Ryan Nimhard film breakdown. What about the women that tell me I shouldn't watch so many sports? Do I have to respect them too? Of course. We respect all women here. Even the murderers. 3 days until D-Lo's a Mav. For real though, actually. Unironically. That's true. Share. Okay. Plane. Oh! Yeah, we're moving a little differently now. Yeah. Nope. No pre-play or anything. We're moving a little differently now. Now watch how quickly I do connections. Yep. Grouch. Karl Marx. I mean, Marx has to be okay. I mean, what could Marx be other than Marxism, Karl Marx? But you know what that's almost certainly going to be is some dumbass letter play. Okay? Marx. All right, I already see what it is. Marx, but it's you pronounce it a way, a different spelling. Cheek, different spelling. Marx, different spelling. Where are the other ones? Halo, fresh, wings, bird, harp, count, grouch, chemical, robe. Is that not almost certainly what it is? Halo, chemical, blues. Fuck. Fresh, current, happening. No. My Chemical Romance. Monster by Kanye West. Bitch, I'm about to know good bloodsucker. Oh, wait. Count, Grouch, Oscar the Grouch, the Count, Big Bird, and I wasn't really great with Sesame Street. Is that Marx? Is Marx a Sesame Street character? Fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, the Cookie Monster. Holy shit. Good God. That's embarrassing. All right. Sesame Street figures. We got that. Halo. 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 Beyonce songs? Halo? No. All right. Current, happening, fresh. Cheek? Honestly, this could work. Okay. In fashion. Got it. Wings, robe. Chemical blood. Halo, robe, wings, harp, angels. Parts of an angel costume. Marks, chemical, blues, blood. What's this one? Marx Brothers. Oh. Who are the Chemical Brothers? I feel like I dominated that. Okay, I've been away on a little European trip with the wife. What did I miss? And why aren't you doing the not doing social media thing again? Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Are you ready? Well. Yep. Broke my ankle. Blood Brothers, Blues Brothers. I don't know what the Chemical Brothers is. UK techno band? Oh, okay. No, not a torn Achilles. When's the last time your finger broke through the toilet paper? Maybe it's a mistake to stream this long. Like, I feel like the non-focused streams are just out of control. Like, just completely out of control. I feel old if Unk doesn't know the Chemical Brothers. Oh boy, us early 90s kids are fucked. Yeah, sorry, Unk. Can you do Quirtle? Dude, is that the one where you have to do 4 at the same time? No, I'm not doing Quirtle, bro. Not doing Quirtle. What is Tradle? I'm not doing these old games. All right, we just get Wordle and that's it. Not playing Purtle. Caitlin Clark ruled out. Oh. Dude, people paid hundreds of dollars for those tickets, man. Hundreds of dollars. That is absolutely brutal. Scrandle? The fuck is Scrandle? I've already played this. Oh, wait, we've done this. We've played this. We've played this. We've played this. I'm not doing that one again. We've played that one. That one is funny. Man, that sucks for people who paid to go to that. Just call it what it is. It sucks. Play basketball 5. NBA Wordle games. Oh, I'm not doing the Wordle games, man. All right, we're done with that. We need to move on. We need to. What's my peak scooter speed? I think I get up to about 8 to 9 miles an hour on this bad boy. 8 to 9. Now, the thing is, it gets a little wobbly at higher speeds. Time to get Wings ticket for 500% discount. I wonder how much. Guys, I'm getting into this group chat argument, and I'm not going to say my opinion, but I want to know y'all's opinion. All right, just be honest, okay? Would you have traded, hypothetical, complete and total hypothetical, would you have traded Luka Doncic for Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first? Yes, no, no. Seems pretty split. Logically, yes. Emotionally, no. What side are you on? I said I wasn't going to say my side. If you were dead set on trading Luka, then that's a pretty good return. But I don't know if I would have traded him. In the moment, we were bought into Luka, so I would say no to literally anything, no matter how good. But logically, yes, it's a good trade. No, it's a creators league. It's really difficult to question to answer now, only because I've looked at so much Cooper Flagg stuff that I'm so hyped. Didn't people have similar hypothetical with Luka and Wemby? Yeah, I think so. Luka has injury problems too. You guys know that I've been saying how concerned I am with some of that stuff. Now, hopefully it's getting number one can't influence your decision for the trade. No, I agree with you. It's just a hypothetical. Should we do a Spotify episode today? Spotify episode means it's time to lock the fuck in. Why are Mavs fans turning on Luka? I don't think any Mavs fans are turning on Luka. What you're probably looking at is like Kyrie stands who are already like ready to shit on Luka in an effort to defend Kyrie. Local restaurants who sober for Luka? That's insane. Are the Blazers better than Phoenix? I absolutely think that's possible. Yeah. Do you think the weight loss could be a negative to Luka's game given the physical advantage he might lose? Well, it depends on the type of weight loss. Like I don't do the Luka weight watchers thing just because when you're basing everything off one or two pictures, it's like, we won't really know until we see him play for Slovenia in a month or so. Does that make sense? Mavs Reddit has turned into a nerd version of Stalingrad. They're holding out in there. You should be Eurobasket? Fuck no. Unless it's on playback. If it's on playback, maybe. Eurobasket, they don't mess around, bro. I've gotten 2 copyright strikes on this channel from FIBA. They don't mess around. They don't play games, man. Literally. What's the best draft grade article? I love draft grades. Grades for all 30 draft classes. Fuck yeah. Kevin Pelton. Let's rock. Did he discuss Flagg side-eye? Yeah. We saw it. I wonder who he was looking at. We've already got a Cooper Flagg meme with the side-eye. How about a grade on the undrafted free agent classes? Man, having like that strong of an opinion on undrafted free agency is so funny. It's just like, nah, man, this undrafted free agency class is trash. Like, what were the Celtics thinking with this undrafted free agent class? Who will be a better player in 5 years, Luka or Flagg? I mean, I hope Luka is. 31-year-old Luka versus a 23-year-old Flagg. Thoughts on Reggie Bullock return to Dallas? Sure. Wait, what? No. Is Reggie Bullock retired? Did he retire? Think they got a picture of him mid-turn because they took pictures from every angle? No. He side-eyed. Bullock Island. I'll always appreciate Reggie Bullock for his time with the Mavs, 100%. He'll always be a Mav in my heart. That side eye probably tells me he was talking to somebody before and they're like, someone's going to ask you. Like, probably the person, I doubt this is true, but in my mind, in my head canon, it is. Someone was like, Tim McMahon's going to ask you a question about Luka, I bet. Like, Tim McMahon's going to ask you a question about Luka. Like, don't say some crazy shit. Here's what you should say. And then he did, and that's when they did that quick little look. Yep. Reggie Bullock gave everything he had left for that conference finals run. Gave it all up. Demon Nico is hilarious. Cooper Flagg. Yeah.
What's up, man? You know, I'm doing well, man. It's glad to meet you, man. Jeez.
Look at that dap. Man, they went 5 different combinations there.
What's up, man? You know, I'm doing well, man. It's glad to meet you, man. Jeez. My pleasure, man. Jesus Christ.
Yo. Food review, welcome to the Masai Delusional Club. This looks like a secret handshake for like a fraternity.
What's up, man? You know, I'm doing well, man. It's glad to meet you, man.
Wait. The handshake, the normal handshake.
What's up, man?
Back into like the dap position. Back into the handshake. Finishing up the dap and then holding it for like 10 seconds. Oh my god. I guess that's just normal in y'all's generation. In Flagg's generation? Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't think it is. Man, I'm laughing my ass off at this. This is fucking hilarious. YB with the 5. Remember Lively moaning during Luka's interview in the playoffs? That was Lively? I do remember that. Cray, 30 months to the Slightly Delusional Club.
What's up, man? You know, I'm doing well, man. It's glad to meet you, man.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. Hard watch. Hey, man. You know, the older they don't give a fuck. They'll hold your hand for 50 minutes. It doesn't mean a thing to them. Is B-Will not on the roster anymore? Is Hardy still considered better than him? Seemed like he deserves a shot at point guard this season. No, B-Will's on the roster. I'd be shocked if Hardy's on the team. Now, maybe there's just not a pathway for that trade, but I'd be a little bit surprised. Old heads love to hold the shake. It's kind of a power move. Cooper Flagg, yeah. I was surprised the Mavs depth chart didn't show B-Will at point guard. Well, that was like the NBA TV. They still had Spencer Dinwiddie there and stuff. Like, Dinwiddie's gone. I'm almost 100% certain. We're getting D'Lo and we're going to like it. Oh, yeah. We're getting D'Lo. I'm telling you guys right now. I think that's happening 1 second in the free agency on Monday. Hardy on good contract when he was giving us minutes. Need him to get back out there. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. Like, I don't like poo-pooing Hardy. He was a second-round pick. He got a second contract. That's a huge success for him. You know? Yeah, I definitely think he is probably almost certainly probably going to get traded. But, you know. I think my problem is how healthy AD and Kyrie are going to be. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the big problem. Ooh, my ankle is starting to hack up a little bit. Folks, they said I had a very strong ankle. They looked at the x-rays and they said, it's healing so well. They said, we've never seen an ankle heal this well. Frankly, it's quite remarkable how fast your ankle's healing. You might be out there and running a marathon. They told me I might be running a marathon. I don't know if I'd run the marathon, but they told me I might run a marathon. By next month is what they told me. I could run a marathon. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll run a marathon. You never know. Good afternoon, folks. It's Friday, June 27th, 1:25 p.m. We've pushed the start time back a little bit if you're a Spotify listener and wondering what the fuck's going on. We're pushing the start time back a little bit. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like. Always helps out the algorithm. And subscribe. If you're not subscribed, we'll be going live pretty much daily, I think is what the plan's going to be. Okay. So we had Cooper Flagg's introductory press conference today. Pretty much every single rookie's getting their introductory press conference today, besides one. We'll talk a little bit about Ace Bailey. We'll kind of go over the draft and what's happened over the past few days. What else has gone on? There was another big move. What did I miss? Oh, Masai's out in Toronto. Kind of surprising, kind of not surprising. Writing on the wall. And free agency is a few days away. So, I mean, things are moving. I don't know if this offseason is going to be like this absolutely insane. I don't know if this offseason is going to be this absolutely insane transaction period that it was hyped up to be. Now, I say that, and people are like, what'd you expect, man? And yeah, we've gotten, the KD trade was pretty big, obviously. We all expected it. The Bane trade was big. Outside of that, though, we knew the Celtics were gonna kind of make way on their roster, and they did. And it wasn't that crazy or anything like that. The Jordan Poole trade, it now feels even stranger in hindsight. We'll talk about the Pelicans here in a bit. Wait, is the stream just starting or already ending? No, we're just starting the main portion. We've been live for an hour and a half, and we're just starting the main portion. So, this is very much like a European dinner. I'm supposed to be out in Europe right now. I remind myself every 10 minutes and I get sad. But here I am with you, lovely people. You lovely people. Sully, do you enjoy watching Lucas Stan's misery? I don't enjoy watching anybody's misery, so I can't quite say that. The people who have been in my mentions being annoying as fuck for years. Does it put a smile on my face a tiny bit? Maybe a smirk. For sure. We have 45 minutes of Ryan Nembhard talk coming up. Yeah, that's part of our scheduling, our block. We got a Nembhard ramble. We've got a draft ramble scheduled. We also have an Al-Farouq Aminu, just kind of a flashback, sort of retrospective, Al-Farouq Aminu career retrospective ramble also coming up. So we're you know, we've got a busy stream. We got a busy show. So let's get into it. Just from the Cooper Flagg stuff, the Cooper Flagg press conference, a, you know, very media trained guy. There's not a lot of like super interesting responses. I found the more interesting stuff from the press conference being stuff that Kidd himself said, mainly about Cooper Flagg having lead ball handler roles, and Kidd kind of alluded to, and this has been talked about, but alluded to Giannis and his time with Giannis and how he gave the ball to Giannis, and Giannis got to, you know, get those ball handler reps and all the failures and stuff out of the way so he could grow into the player that he grew into. I like it. And, you know, I've been saying it's going to be rough and ugly at times. There's no two ways around that. It's going to be rough and ugly at times, but that's part of the process, and I'm okay with it, and I'm here for it. So that's something to consider. That was an interesting thing. I mean, of course, you had, this was the exact quote right here, Jason Kidd on Cooper Flagg. I want to put him at point guard, make him feel uncomfortable, see how he reacts. He's been watching me. Honest to God. He's been watching me. I've said almost this exact thing. Make Cooper Flagg do uncomfortable stuff. It's good for the development. Now, I'm assuming this is already getting clipped out of context. Kidd said, let's get Flagg going. Let's get him going against the Lakers immediately. Now, he's saying that because the Mavs' first summer league game is against the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's why he's saying that. Which is interesting because usually, Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks will play Dylan Harper and the San Antonio Spurs July 12th. It's my birthday. Usually they do number 1 versus number 2 on the first summer league game, don't they? Isn't that usually what they do? Or at least like some of the top picks against one another. They're milking the Bronny stuff. That much is certain. Happy birthday? No, I said my birthday was then, not now. Slightly a Cancer, not surprising. What does that mean? Because, you know, I don't think I act much like a Cancer. Coop going to dunk on Bronny and stare at LeBron. That would be sick, actually. Cancer gang. Oh, Swagger, your birthday's July 12th too? Congrats, man. Congrats. Congratulations on that. For real. So we got a lot to talk about and get into. Again, the press conference was he's very media trained. There was a funny question about Luka, and it was a tame question by Tim McMahon standards. Just pretty much like, you know, Luka, you have Dirk. Dirk has a statue out there. The fans love Luka. How do you follow that up? You know, it wasn't like a crazy question. And Cooper did give a side eye to somebody. It was pretty hilarious. So can you explain here's how we can still get Jason Kidd to the Knicks obsession from Knicks fans? I'm not entirely sure. It's hilarious because when this was all first announced, every Knicks fan I know on Twitter was like, ew, gross. Who the fuck wants Jason Kidd? Like, Jason Kidd sucks. And now it's gotten to the point where they're like, we still want him. I'm like, hell yeah, let's trade for him. The Mavs are just playing hard to get. Let's trade for him. Flagg's not going anywhere. Or I'm sorry. Oh, Flagg's not going anywhere. I mean, hopefully. Kidd's not going anywhere, at least not this year, I don't think. What about the why did you pick the Luka shirt when you were 12 question? Yeah, somebody did ask him, you know, why he wore a Mavs shirt when he was 13 years old. I don't know. I just put it on. They'll have a controversial Ace Bailey front and center to stir the pot. Well, his ass might not be out there. And then, of course, you had Nico saying, fans are starting to see the vision. Just hilarious. And I respect it. He's sticking to the bit. All right. This was the plan all along. What do you mean? It just was. Oh, fucking hilarious. NBA World's latest Nico quote post. NBA World. Nico Harrison just now. I think the fans are starting to see the vision. All right. So what I just said. Okay. All right. Wizards might have dodged a bullet with the ace thing. Well, what were the Wizards one of the teams you didn't want to go to? Let's get into that. Let's get into the draft, piggybacking off the Flagg stuff. And again, a lot of introductory press conferences today for these rookies. let's piggyback off of that and get into some of this draft stuff. These draft grades. This is going to be a little bit more rambly. All right. So, but we're just going to ramble a little bit here. Ramble, 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 ramble. Isn't there a Pokemon named Ramble? What am I thinking of? The NBA draft has concluded. 2 nights. You know, it's kind of interesting. I didn't think the second round was all that bad. It kind of flew by. I still think it's the fucking stupidest thing in the world to do 2 nights, but that's what they do. Okay. Man, they're really pushing the Morris brothers on ESPN. I don't understand it at all. They're really going for it. Okay. All right. I don't quite get it, but okay. ESPN is graded every team's draft, and we'll talk about the grades. You know, grading a team's draft, I think it's a fun thought exercise and process, and it's fun to look back on years down the line. Maybe I should do one myself as somebody who doesn't know any of the second-round prospects. I feel like I'm qualified to talk about it. But just the draft process, I think, is more interesting in, you know, trading for guys, taking players of value, taking players that fit your needs. Like, it's always kind of an interesting little, like, for example, the 2023 draft, I thought the Mavericks had an A+ draft. Now, Lively turned out to be great and fantastic. That was amazing. But even though Omax, it looks like, is not going to be, you know, a real contributor, it just pains me to say, but I think it's the truth. I loved what they did. I love the fact that they traded back in the draft 2 spots, were still able to get their guy in Derek Lively, traded away Davis Bertans' contract. In the process, opened up a trade exception, which they then used to absorb Rashawn Holmes' contract and trade into the first round. So I love the process there. It all made sense. Omax just, you know, love the guy. He still looks like a little deer out there. He looks like a little deer, folks, running around out there. Let's look at all these teams. We're going alphabetical order, I guess. That's fine. The Atlanta Hawks get an A. Yeah, the Hawks have had the best offseason in the league up until this point. You guys want to know something, and you're going to hate to hear it, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Mavericks have low-key had one of the best offseasons in the NBA. I'm just laying that out there. I'm just throwing that out there. As it stands currently, they've had one of the best ones, but we'll get to them here in a second. Atlanta Hawks get an A, round 1, Asa Newell out of Georgia. And that's kind of that. I'm sure they have some, undrafted free agents. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know any of these guys, okay? So the process for them, they entered the draft with the 21st pick, correct? 21st or 22nd pick, as well as the 13th overall pick. They end up only taking 1. But in the process, we talk about the process. In the process, they traded for Kristaps Porzingis, which involved them trading away their 22nd overall pick. I think kind of lost in that. Was the fact that they got off of Terrence Mann's fucking terrible contract. I've seen people say, like, I think people are misguided in what they're thinking about Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann is a horrible contract at this point in time, okay? And he's on the outs with them already. I didn't really get that trade last year for them, the bogey trade for Terrence Mann. Didn't make a lot of sense, but they're able to get off of that in this KP deal, and KP's an expiring as well. So that's 2 years, I believe, of Terrence Mann's contract that's just off. You got off of that. And Kristaps Porzingis, if he's healthy and playing, that's a really interesting fit. And they didn't really give up much of anything at all, right? The 22nd overall pick in this draft, which they eventually got the 23rd overall pick. And then the trade of the millennium with New Orleans, trading the 13th overall pick to move down 10 spots to 23, in the process, getting an unprotected 2026 first-round pick. That could either be Milwaukee's or New Orleans. This is one of the dumbest fucking trades I've ever seen. And I know what I'm saying. This is one of the stupidest trades I have ever fucking seen. And maybe we'll get into it. We'll get into the Pelican side of it when we get to the Pelicans. But, huge W for Atlanta. Huge win. And they still end up with Asa Newell, who I think will be pretty interesting next to Trey. You know, I didn't really know what to think about him. He feels like an absolute tweener to me. But great process. Fantastic process. Round of applause. Boston, they got Hugo Gonzalez. He was the last guy I watched. I didn't really like him all that much, to be honest with you. Amari Williams and Max Shulga in the second round. C+ grade for Boston. Gonzalez would have made more sense for Boston as a stash pick who would come over later in his development. Instead, Brad Stevens indicated the Celtics plan to bring him to the NBA next season. So, Hugo Gonzalez is this really high motor, good athlete, defensive guy. I don't really know. Those guys are always kind of misleading because you always expect more out of them and then they just never do it. Think Josh Green types, right? C+, I think that's fine. I mean, 28th overall pick. What are you going to do? But yeah, I think like Rasheer Fleming, Noah Pinda, like those guys I think would have made a little bit more sense to me. I think they're better. But I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo, the 28th overall pick, right? He had a first-round grade. This isn't some crazy reach or anything like that. So, and again, the second-round picks, it's just like, who knows? Who the fuck knows? Nets, I think have to get an F for me. Like, that kind of sounds insane. 5 first-round picks by itself is nuts. Just think about 5 first-round picks in and of itself, okay? All 5 of these guys, no team has ever had 5 first-round picks in a draft. All 5 of these guys need developmental reps. You drafted 2 lead guards. 3 guys who kind of project to be maybe lead guards in Igor Dimin, Nolan Traore, and Ben Seraph. And then you also drafted a 7-footer whose main appeal as a player, and Danny Wolf, is his ball handling and what he can do as a 7-footer. How are these guys going? And like the Drake Powell hype, 22nd overall, insane athlete, good defender, but like, offensively didn't do much of anything at UNC. And like the reason he's kind of hyped as like a first-round prospect anyways is like, yeah, there's some like on-ball stuff that's kind of like an upside that he had in high school that's interesting. That made him a top 5 guy entering the class. So you have 5 guys who are going to need on-ball reps. I mean, what's the fucking plan? And then what, they're going to bring Cam Thomas? I have no clue what the fuck they're thinking. I'm looking at this situation here and I'm just like, could they not have made that trade with New Orleans? That would have been great for them. I would have loved that for them. Could they not have made that trade with New Orleans? Or something? I mean, I don't... I thought they did a terrible job. And just law of averages, one of these guys will probably be good at the very least. Right? But I just don't... What was the funniest shit was them panning to the Nets war room after every pick. And they're just like, yeah! Woo! Igor Dimin, Nolan Traore, Drake Powell, Ben Seraph, and Danny Wolf. 3 guards. 3 lead guards. I'm a little bit shocked by this one. I mean, and I'm out on Igor Dimin. Maybe this is something we look back on and laugh at in like 10 years. It's like, dude, remember how many, like, the iconic draft photo with all 5 guys? And it's like, look at this fucking stacked draft class. I can't see the vision, to be honest with you. I just don't get it. I don't like it at all. This just feels like some NBA 2K shit through and through. Charlotte Hornets B. I'd give the Charlotte Hornets an A. I love Con Knippel. That was one of the things that when I watched so many Duke games, watching Cooper Flagg stuff, almost every single game I'd leave being like, damn, Con Knippel's good. Like, Con Knippel's just a hooper, man. That guy could play on my team any day of the week. So I love Con Knippel. Liam McNeely's, whatever. Sion James, again, you watch a lot of Duke, and it's like, God damn, that guy's built like a fucking bowling ball out there. And Ryan Cockburner is interesting. With Mark Williams gone, he's going to get, I'm assuming he's going to play right away, right? He's an older draft guy. Grade A in terms of names. Yeah, it's an interesting name class for sure. And they got 2 first-round picks for Mark Williams. Yeah, absolutely right. They got the 29th overall pick, which they used to get Liam McNeely, and a future first, which probably is not going to be a good first whatsoever. What is it, like between the least favorable of the Cavs, Timberwolves? So, like, it's not going to be a good pick. But for a guy that you were hoping to trade anyways, kind of interesting. I like this. I like this draft for him. I think it's an A, honest to God. I think their process was great. And I love the fact that, last year taking Salon, this project wing guy from France who is almost certainly going to bust, right? Almost certainly going to bust. Changing your draft philosophy this year and just going with a safer pick in Con Knippel, who I also think still has a pretty high ceiling. Like, I don't know. I feel like people are poo-pooing Con Knippel. Like, I'd much rather them do this than get Noah Sangay or something like that. Full stop. So I love it for Charlotte, and I think they did a great job, 100%. Bulls A-. I guess I'm just not that in on Noah Sangay. Did the Bulls make a trade or something I forgot about? So I'm going to knock them down. I'm going to knock them down a peg because we know for a fact We know for a fact that the Pelicans. What did Joe Dumars say? He had just one of the most insane. And we'll get more to the Pelicans here in a second. But I think it was from, he said the 8th pick onwards or the 9th pick onwards. The Pelicans were offering that package to every single team until Atlanta said yes. Every single team. So I think I'd just rather, like, I don't know, move back 11 spots in this case and get an unprotected first next year. That could be incredible. I'm really not that in on Noah Sange, to be honest with you. Wish him all the best. You know, obviously this A- rating for ESPN means that they really liked him. I have no idea. Olbrach, I don't know. Number 55 overall. I don't know if I can go with an A. Just knowing that the Pelicans for sure offered that to him. Cavaliers get a B. So what's the, can you get a B for just having second round picks? Like, that just feels like a C to me. Like C plus, hey, Tyrese Proctor, good work there. They gave him a standard contract immediately. So no two-way with him. He's a standard contract player. Guaranteed contract for him. Niang. Oh, man, they just traded away a Niang. And now they're bringing a Niang back. How about that? Is there any relation, actually? It's just kind of like an interesting last name to have. Chad, can we get a confirmation of relation there? Salu Niang. You shouldn't get a bad grade just because you only had second round picks. Yeah, but you shouldn't get a good grade. Niang redemption, absolutely. But the Proctor pick was good. I like the Proctor pick. Somebody had told me, I don't know what percentage source I'd put this at, but the Mavs were trying to get Tyrese Proctor. I don't know, Dallas. How the fuck can the Mavericks get a B, bro? From a process standpoint, the Mavericks don't get credit for winning the lottery, only for not screwing it up. How the fuck do they get the same grade as the Cavaliers? What is this hating ass shit? Man, Mavs get an A++. Fuck out of here, ESPN. It's Dallas against the world. It's Dallas against the world. How do they get the same? They get the same grade as a number 49 overall pick. Yeah, when the Spurs, well, it's different when the Spurs got it because everybody loves to suck off the Spurs. The Spurs are so incredible. They're just the luckiest team that's ever fucking existed. Besides the Lakers are far and away the luckiest team that's ever existed, maybe in any sport ever played, right? Because they're just terrible. The Spurs at least are a good front office team. The Lakers are just horrible, right? There's been terrible, but just get gifted stuff. The Spurs, are lucky as fuck. Just constantly moving up in the lottery. Constantly. Getting number 1 picks, number 2 picks in a year like this. A+ for them. B for the Mavericks. It's an A for the Mavericks. A++. Like, what are you talking about? Denver Nuggets incomplete. Get used to seeing Nuggets graded incomplete. They didn't control any future second-round pick before getting their 2032 second-rounder when the draft concluded and still a pair of protected first-round picks starting in 2027. So because of that, I'm going to give them an F. I know that it might not be fair and complete. I'm going to give them an F. I'm going to give them an F. It's part of the process, right? It's part of the process. I'm going to give them an F. They've done a horrid job. They get an F. Detroit Pistons get a B. So, yeah, the Detroit Pistons get the same grade as the Dallas Mavericks. Chaz Lanier, 37th overall. Same grade as the Mavericks. It's a good article. Good article here. Really good stuff. I did see this Lanier guy, a big-time three-point shooter, which is what they need. Good fit. Good pick. Warriors, again, same grade as the Mavericks with a 52nd overall pick and 56th overall pick. Good article. Really good article here. Houston Rockets incomplete. Well, I'm not going to call it incomplete because I'm gonna lump the KD trade in this, which I'd give them an A for. I'd give the Rockets an A for the KD trade. Maybe a B+. Maybe a B+. I think it's a really good trade for them. I think, obviously, I bet they wish the trade market was a little bit different. Like, yeah, I bet they wish Devin Booker were available, but he's not. I bet they wish Giannis were available, but he's not. So you do settle for KD. I say settle for. Still a great piece. And they didn't trade much. And they gave up the 10th overall pick, a pick that wasn't going to play for them this year anyways. So, yeah. Good work on their end. I give them a B+ for that. I give them a B+ for that because I count it. They should have had the 10th overall pick in this draft and they didn't. Pacers get an A. So explain to me like I'm a fucking idiot. Explain to me like I'm a dumbass how the Pacers get an A for the 38th and 54th overall pick. Explain to me like I'm a fucking moron how this makes any sense at all. Now I will say, Cam Jones, guard, if Rick Carlisle signs off on a guard, especially in the draft, second round, yeah, I'm intrigued by him. Absolutely. I'm intrigued by him. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But I am intrigued. They also got their 2026 draft pick back. Okay, all right. Well, he's not factoring that into the equation on this article. Let me just tell you that. He's not factoring it into the equation. We'll factor it into the equation, okay? We'll factor it into the equation. Yeah. Okay, so what was that trade again? It was Indy's 2026 first. The Pelicans traded that back to Indiana to get the 23rd overall pick. Oh my God. Wait, I forgot that got factored into the equation. Oh. Man, the Pelicans had a rough week. Yeah, okay. I like that trade for the Pacers. And obviously, they made that trade before Halliburton tore his Achilles. So it ends up looking much better in hindsight. Yeah, okay. I give them a B+ for that. B. Now, why did the Clippers get a C-? The Clippers get, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, which I saw some people pretty high on him. Like I've seen people, I didn't watch anything on him. I've seen people put Derek Lively comps on him. Now you guys are going to have to start being a little bit careful with that. Derek Lively, testament to how good Derek Lively's been. Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers got a better grade than the Mavericks. Fucking joke ass article. Anyways, yeah, okay. Niederhauser, it's a testament to how good Derek Lively is that constantly he's getting these like athletic kind of high ceiling centers. I just got paint all over the place. Centers get compared to him. You guys are gonna have to start putting some respect on his name, all right? Because he was a lot more polished, I think, than a lot of these other guys, especially Yannick. Okay. I mean, C- feels rough. I think C's fine, right? I think C's fine because it's the 30th overall pick. It's not like it's 14th. Lakers get a B+. Yeah, I do. Thiero is a good pick at 36. I think it fits there. I just don't buy the shooting thing. I don't buy the shooting thing. Now, they did have good process. I agree with that. The Lakers started this draft with just the 55th overall pick and through a couple of trades made their way all the way up to 36. I like that. That's good process by them. Thiero does make sense. This team needs athletes so bad. They're so unathletic as a team. This guy's one of the most athletic players in the draft. So I like that for them. Good defensive upside. I don't like the shot. I went back and I watched, and Lakers fans have already convinced themselves that the shot will make it. And maybe it will. There's some stuff like he had an insane growth spurt and his hands just got bigger and bigger and it made it difficult for him to shoot. But, a career poor shooter from three, poor shooter from the free throw line. I have a difficult time imagining it just comes together. But if it does, it's a really good pick. I think it's a fine pick anyways. So I do think they did a good job. I don't mind a B+ there. It just bothers me because the Mavs should be an A+. Like how the fuck are the Mavs a B? And the Lakers are B+. I don't really get it at all. He gave the Grizzlies a C-. Interesting. I like what the Grizzlies did. Now there's actually, and maybe it would be fun to do like a deep dive into this. Trading up in the draft. How often does trading up in the draft work out? Because I saw somebody mention it and then I kind of thought about it as of late. Recent examples. And I'm like, man, trading up in the draft usually is bad. Like it usually does not pay off. There's a few examples here and there, but like it usually does not pay off the top of my head. But for the Grizzlies, they do move up. They traded, what was it, a future first, right, to get up to 11. One of the Magic picks to get up from 16 to 11. Was that the exact trade? I need to look up the exact trade. Grizzlies draft trade. Is there audio coming up from somewhere? Grizzlies acquired the 11th overall pick. So it was 16 for 11, and they trade a first-round pick in 2028 via Orlando, and then second-round picks from Atlanta, 2027, and Sacramento in 2028 to the Blazers. So a pretty decent haul to move up 5 spots. But I like Cedric Howard quite a bit. In the Grizzlies, yeah, they trade up in the first-round pick quite a bit, in the first-round draft quite a lot, first round of the draft quite a lot. And as Pelton mentions right here, sometimes it pays off, right? Like Brandon Clark, it worked out. Brandon Clark, good rotation player for them. They also traded up to get Jake LaRavia. They also traded up a fuck ton to get Zaire Williams, 10th overall. And the pick that they traded to move up in that draft was Trey Murphy. So that one was bad, looking back on it. But Cedric Howard, I think, is going to be really good. He feels like a Memphis Grizzly type of player. And pairing him with Jalen Wells, I think, is quite interesting moving forward. So I like it. I think I'd go a little bit higher. I'd go B-. Because you did give up a good amount to move up and get him. But I think he fits what you've got going on quite a bit. And, I don't know that magic. So explain. Okay. So, all right. I'm just trying to understand this article and how it makes sense at all. Like, I guess I kind of get. It's just like, we're going to give the Mavs a B because they didn't do anything. Right? Like, Cooper Flagg just fell into their lap. Okay. All right. Sure. Like, we'll give the Lakers a B+ because the process was good. They traded up from 55 to 36. Like, it was a good job by them. Okay, I guess I get it. Why did the Heat get an A-? They didn't do anything. They didn't do a single thing. Kasparov Jakubčionis just fell into their lap. I don't really understand this at all. But yeah, I'd give the Heat an A, though, for sure, because I thought Jakubčionis, KJ, was what I'll call him until I fully get that pronunciation down. I had him top 10 on my big board. Or did I? I think I might have had him 12 by the end of it or some shit like that. But yeah, he was top 10 consensus on most big boards, and I got him 20. So it is a steal, and I'd give him an A. But I don't understand the process of this dog shit article at all. Milwaukee Bucks, Bogo Markovic out of Serbia. They get a B. Bogo is getting some first round buzz, so I think 47th overall is rock solid. And I've seen just some stuff on him, and he looks good. He looks like an interesting player for sure. Now, the funniest part of this draft process was the report that Giannis was closely paying attention to this pick. Giannis was closely paying attention to the 47th overall pick. That's just a hilarious concept to me. Just a hilarious concept. That Giannis was just like, damn, they drafted Bogo 47th? Yeah, I'm out, man. I was hoping Rocco would be there, and Rocco's not there. So I'm out. I'm demanding a trade. Just kind of hilarious. Hilarious reporting. But anyways, it's a good pick, By the way, I'm in on Bogo. Let me tell you why, just first and foremost. He played on Jokic's team in Serbia. Mega Basket. What a fucking name for a basketball team. Mega Basket. Incredible. Minnesota Timberwolves get a B- for João Béranger and Rocco, two centers, two kind of project centers. I don't know much of anything about Rocco Zakarski. Just a big-ass dude. What is he, like 7'4"? Yeah, 7'3". Looks huge. Looks like a fucking freshly born deer out there. João Béranger, I didn't have that high just because I thought he is exactly what he is, which is a project big entirely with interesting tools that could work out. But I do kind of like it for Minnesota. I think B- is a fair grade, though. I don't think they got anyone that could really help them out right away. Maybe Béranger could. Maybe. But it does feel like this is more a Rudy Gobert's got a few years left, and we're just not going to have that many assets to build and replace him. So hopefully one of these guys turns into somebody that we feel good about replacing Gobert with in 2 or 3 years' time. So I like it. I think it makes sense. Béranger is also French, so you pair that with Gobert. That's maybe that means something. I don't really know. Pelicans get an F. Yeah, this is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen. Fears 7th overall. I have my questions about Fears, right? DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole, and Jeremiah Fears all on the same team is just objectively hilarious, right? Just objectively funny, okay? And then you trade up the 23rd overall pick and an unprotected first next year. That will either be the Hawks will get to choose between the Milwaukee Bucks pick or the New Orleans Pelicans pick. There is very, very real pathways for both of those teams to be fucking terrible next year. And what is a loaded draft? This is just one of the stupidest trades you'll ever see. I'm just, if the Hawks were really interested in trading out, I don't really get it. You couldn't have protected that pick. You couldn't have done a least favorable swap. This is just so stupid to me. So stupid to me. So stupid to me. But I guess, if Derek Queen's good, we'll never really second guess it, and we'll look back on this and just kind of laugh. But it's not like I think Derek Queen's this rock solid can't miss guy. Pelton kind of mentions this. He has his own little draft formula thing. He had Bridges 6 overall in his projections and Derek Queen outside the top 30. There's a lot of concerns about Derek Queen. This is just, it's just such a shocking maneuver, a shocking decision. How did the Blazers turn this trade down? Their pick at 16 would have been available at 23. Yeah, you do have to wonder why the teams from, I think Dumars said around 8 or so, 9. So here's the exact quote from Dumars. These are always so quiet on Twitter.
When you have a chance to get 2 lottery picks in one draft, you're accounting for the following year, really, when you get 2 in one draft. And so that's the first thing you calculate. And then secondly, look, these deals, after we drafted 7, we started from 9 and went all the way until we got a deal. And you don't pull the trigger on the asset next year until you get that deal. Otherwise, you keep it. But here's what I've said to the staff.
What does that even mean? You don't pull the trigger on the asset until you have the deal. Isn't that how any fucking trade works?
When you identify a player that you think this can be one of the foundations here, you go and get him. And that's what we did. We targeted Queen. We thought he could be a heck of an addition here. And we were really aggressive about going and getting him in this draft.
Oh, Lordy Lord. So they tried from 9 to trade down. I got to look at all these teams that were ahead of them. A little side-eyed. Yeah, they get an F for sure. Knicks get a C+. I don't get the different, why do some teams that drafted second round picks get Bs and then this team gets a C+? Okay. All right. They Knicks didn't have a pick. Yeah, fine, I guess. Thunder get a B. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd give the Thunder an A. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I would give the Thunder an A. I'd give the Thunder an A. Absolutely an A. I like shocker. I like Thomas Sorber a lot. Fits like a glove with the Thunder. Won't have to play much at all, if at all, early on, and is somebody who you could definitely see replacing Hartenstein in a year or two when Hartenstein leaves and they can't afford to pay him anymore. Yeah, exactly. He's squinting, you can see the outline of Isaiah Hartenstein. Yeah, absolutely. Great pick for them. And they also had the 24th overall pick in this draft that they traded to the Kings that is a 2027 first-round picks from the Spurs, I believe, that is top 17 protected. Is that what it is? So basically, if the Spurs make the playoffs in 2027, the Thunder will have their pick. If not, it becomes 2 second-round picks. That makes sense to me. And their Barenheiser, 44th, a very high volume production guy in college at Northwestern. you know, I mean, I trust what they do, to be honest with you. If they take a guy in the second round, I trust their vision there. But I love the Sorber pick, and I love trading out at 24. They didn't have the roster spots for it. So it makes sense to me. It does. The Magic get a B+. Oh, I give the Magic, Magic B+. They had a rock-solid draft, I think. A rock-solid draft. Jace Richardson, 25, I think is really good value. Really, really good value. He's smaller, but he fits what they need to a T. And Noah Pinda. You guys, Pinda. I had Noah Pinda in my top 15. I love him. I think he's going to play in the NBA for a long-ass time. And he's perfect for them. Plays defense at a very high level. Could do a bunch of different things offensively. They traded a lot to move up and get Pinda. 46th overall, 57th overall in this year's draft, and then 2 future second rounders to move up and take Pinda. Whose shot might not be there, but I like the risk. I like the upside at 32. I like it quite a bit. Sixers get a B+ for Edgecombe and Johnny Broom. Why do they get a better grade than the Mavs? I mean, is anyone else just seeing how stupid this fucking article is besides me? Anyone else? I mean, what a dumbass article. Makes no sense at all. But okay, sure. I mean, VJ Edgecombe was a clear-cut, obvious choice at 3. And Johnny Broom is, 38 years old already as a rookie. But high production guy who's probably a tweener in the NBA. But, can't have enough bigs on this Philadelphia 76ers team. That much is certain, especially with Yabusele probably leaving. So there you go. Suns get a B. Really? I got to be honest with you. I'd give the Suns a higher grade than that. I don't know if I'd be willing to go A with the Suns. But come on, Maluach, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bray, that's all good. And they got Mark Williams as well. I think they did a pretty damn good job. Seriously, for not having a pick at all in this draft. They're having a very late first in this draft. 29th overall pick coming into the draft. I think they did a pretty fucking good job, and Maluach fell to him. I mean, hard not to be somewhat impressed, at least with it. Folks, the crooked media wants us to give credit to destructive Matt Ishbia and the pathetic Suns for having a good draft. But you know what they say? Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. He got lucky. He got lucky, folks. We're not giving destructive Matt Ishbia any credit. In fact, I think I deserve the credit. Many people tell me I deserve the credit for this because I said the pathetic Suns would never do something like this, and then they did it. People are saying that I deserve credit for it. Come on, Maluach is a big fella. They don't make him like that. And they trade for, I call him Glass Mark Williams. I call him Little Glass Mark Williams because he's just made out of glass. Destructive Matt Ishbia. I'd give him a better grade than this. Portland Trailblazers C-. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give him an A. They traded down. They got a future first from Orlando in the process. Hansen Yang. Hey, I'll say this on the draft stream. I don't give a shit. I don't care how it sounds. I would love to have a Chinese star on my team. I just would. I'd love to have a Chinese star on my team. If this guy blossoms into anything good, it would be fun as hell. And also, from a business perspective, right? From a business perspective, you tap into that China market. They knew what they were doing. Okay? He looks good. He looks fun, right? And they got a first-round pick in the process of moving down, unprotected in the future. Yeah, I think they've done a good job, man. I think he's done a good job. I like it. It's fun. It's fun. I'm here for it. This is purely vibes. Kings get a C. All right, so the Kings traded that pick we just talked about with the Thunder. That Spurs pick of 2027 that's protected. Traded it to Sacramento, to Oklahoma City to jump into the first. They did not have a first-round pick. And they take Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud. I think this is a good draft. I don't know why they're hating on this so much. Yeah, Nick Clifford is older, but I think he could plug in and help him right away. And right now, just give him some big depth. Is a floor spacing big, which is something they do kind of need as well, and they've been looking for. I think this is a fine one. I'd give it like a B. See if you think feels rough, a little bit rough. Spurs get an A. Yeah, I mean the Spurs did a good job. Dylan Harper obviously is great. Getting Carter Bryant 14th is perfect for them. Absolutely perfect. So I like it. I like their draft quite a bit. I think A is good. A is a good grade for them. It was very similar to the Mavericks. If you get a top 2 pick in this draft, you should get an A plus. So good for them. Raptors get a B. I'd give the Raptors a B plus. I love Colin Murray Boyles. I think he'll be good, and I like him more than Malawatch, and I'm happy they did that. So there you go. I like it quite a bit. Good stuff. Jazz get a B plus. So we'll see how the Ace Bailey thing shapes up. He's reportedly not going to the introductory press conference. The Jazz want them reporting on Monday for training camp for Summer League. We'll see what comes of that. How ugly the situation is going to get, because that could deteriorate this. Like if this gets really ugly, I think it's hard to give him a B plus. But I do like the fact that they just drafted his ass. And they traded up to get Walter Clayton. I like that for them. It is funny. Their guard room is hilarious to me. So I think it's a good grade, but we'll see. His agent denied all that. Well, we'll see when it happens, because his ass didn't go to the press conference. Okay? And the Wizards get a B minus for Trey Johnson, Will Riley, Jameer Watkins. Yeah, I like Trey Johnson. Will Riley, I'm just on, but they're trying to get offense and shooting. That much is certain. Or at least offense in Trey Johnson, Will Riley's case, and shooting in Trey Johnson's case. Jameer Watkins, I don't know next to anything about. He's 24 years old. There you go. No questioning Watkins' defensive potential. There you have it. I don't get the grading system here whatsoever, and it kind of threw me off the whole time. The Pelicans absolutely get an F for sure. I just don't know, how do the Lakers get a better grade than the Mavs? Like, explain that to me like I'm a toddler, please. I'm tweeting this bitch out right now. Tweeting this out right now. Jump man, jump man, jump man. Ace, you are a Mav. I saw there was a tweet that the that the Lakers were favorites to land Ace Bailey. You don't understand why? No, I don't really understand why. Why do the Lakers deserve more credit for moving up in the second round to draft a second round guy than the Mavs getting Cooper fucking Flagg? I don't understand it at all. It makes no sense. And then like the article's inconsistent, because then the Sixers get a B plus. So how does that make any sense at all? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Utah's going to play Ace Truss. Yeah, he'll end up playing there, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds, to say the least, though. Now, is it different than Spurs getting Wemby? Yeah, because it's everyone loves the Spurs. Everyone loves them. And they have a great front office, so understandable. Absolutely understandable. If the Lakers get credit for a Due Theoro, why don't we get credit for getting the league leader in assists on a two-way? To be fair, I don't think they did any two-way stuff here. Picking Cooper at 1 isn't a masterstroke. The grade is based on how the front office maximized their draft position. Not much to be done with the consensus first pick. And you have the first pick. I don't give a fuck. You get the first overall pick, it's an A. I don't care. Your grading system is inconsistent anyways, because then doesn't that same logic apply to the Sixers? That same exact logic would apply to the Sixers then, right? Who they had the third overall pick and took the consensus third best guy. And they got a better grade. Sixers actually had a decision. He wasn't consensus third. VJ was consensus third by the time the draft got here. Consensus. Mavs had a decision too. And guess what their decision was? We'll take far and away the best player in this class by 1,000,000,000 miles. Okay, it's not even close. By far the best prospect in this class by 1,000,000 fucking miles. It seems like the D'Angelo Russell to the Mavs are pretty locked in. Do you think they still go in for another guard for safety measures? No, I think that'll be it. They're not going to do anything. Yeah, that's like Kasparis Jakicianis. The Heat get an A- for them doing nothing and him just dropping to 20. How does that make sense? The article is just not consistent. The article is just not consistent at all. And because of that, I give this article a C-. Okay? I give this article a C-. All right. I don't have much of an opinion on Masai getting fired. You know, the writing was on the wall there for sure. It's not that strange to me that it happened following the draft. That feels kind of in line just because, you know, you want to go through the draft process and the scouting process. You don't want to fire guys before that and just have things get weird. And Masai, you know, I don't think they've done a good job at all with their team for a long time. You could say that they got lucky in 2019. But, you know, they made the risk. They went out there and they got Kawhi and it paid off. That was a risky-ass trade. And they got lucky. Like, you know, it's really interesting when we talk about lucky rings and stuff like that. And I think it's because everyone hated that Warriors team. And everyone loved that Raptors team was fun. And, you know, they got insanely lucky. That's just the truth. They got insanely lucky. Right? But with that being said, that Kawhi trade was risky, and it was a good deal for them. They didn't give up really anything. What that trade ended up? That trade ended up being DeMar, Jakob Poeltl, and the pick turned out to be Kelvin Johnson, I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that the trade? You know, not bad at all. But since then, it's just been, you know, strange move after strange move. They did a horrible job in their rebuild. I mean, just a terrible job. Fred VanVleet ends up walking for nothing. Kyle Lowry essentially walks for nothing because you held on to him too long. You turn OG Anunoby into RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, who you then, RJ Barrett already under contract, you then give Emmanuel Quickley $30 million a year. You know, that's two sizable contracts for those two guys right there, right off the rip. And the Siakam trade, yeah, you got what? One Pacers pick that you ended up flipping for Brandon Ingram. Like, they've done a terrible job. Okay? They've done a terrible job. They fleeced in the Ingram trade to make up for it. I mean, that felt like that was just fair value for Ingram, and then they paid him. That was why Ingram's value was as low as it was, because teams didn't really want to pay him. So I didn't think that they did it. I don't think this has been a very well-built team for a while now. And if I had to guess, writing was on the wall, but they were maybe holding out for the hope that his relationship with Giannis could have potentially swayed Giannis into wanting to go to Toronto. And the moment it was clear that that wasn't going to happen, it was time to pull the plug. So that's what I think probably transpired here. And yeah, obviously he'll always be a legend in Toronto. That should be the case, at least for 2019. Which they did build a really good team then. Like, they did build a really good team. But it was really just kind of been downhill since then. So I'm just not sure, you know, what the legacy is. It's kind of weird because I don't think it's been very good as of late. I just don't. You guys think Scotty has a lot of potential? Yeah, I think Scotty could still be really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. Will Scotty be a number 1 or number 2 on a championship team? I think it's pretty clearly number 2. I just don't know if he'll ever be a good enough shooter. So anyways, that was big news on Toronto's front. as they sort of prep for an offseason. What do they have at the pipeline? Kind of rumored that they've been shopping RJ Barrett a little bit. You know, they've got a Jakob Poeltl contract extension decision to make. It's going to be interesting to see what their offseason is. And if you needed any more signals that Giannis is not getting traded, if you needed any more signals, this is, I think, was the biggest one, honestly. Or the fact that he's just straight up said he doesn't want to get traded. There's like these interesting rumors that it was like, oh, Giannis is intently watching this Bucks offseason. No, Scotty made the All-Star team, was it 2 years ago? There was a change in majority ownership. Cheap, disliked across Canada. Masai, one of the highest paid executives. They didn't want to pay that much. That's all this is. Well, I also just don't think the results have really been there. So this was, you know, I think a good time to do it, even if it was for a cost savings thing. Am I wrong in thinking that? I mean, maybe Raptors fans have a different view on it. I just think the writing's kind of been there for Masai's job to be on the line for a bit, to say the least. To say the least. You like Quickly a lot? Quickly's pretty good. Well, right. That's it's a short Spotify stream today. We focused heavily on the Cooper Flagg press conference, which if you're listening to this on Spotify, we reacted to the Cooper Flagg press conference. You can go watch that on YouTube. But Monday is free agency. I think you never know, but I think we're kind of done on like the crazy stuff. You'll still get some trades here and there, obviously, but I think we're kind of done with the crazy shit. And we'll just kind of see. We've got a couple really interesting subplots to watch. The Mavericks hunt for a guard. I'm thinking that'll be D'Angelo Russell 1 minute into free agency. The Clippers hunt for, the Lakers hunt for a center. I'm guessing that'll probably be Clint Capella. I kind of miss the days when stuff happened throughout the summer. Yeah, I agree. Now it does kind of feel like we're sort of lumped into a couple of no Nimhard thoughts. He's an undrafted free agent. I don't have a lot of thoughts on these guys. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really know what to say. I hope he's good. I hope he's good. We're getting charged with tampering for D'Lo. That would be hilarious. I think it'll be fun for Summer League, for sure. Is it stupid to say that's probably good for Flagg's development is to have a Summer League point guard? Somebody to play with in Summer League? I haven't watched a Mavs Summer League game before. Well, that's good for you because the Mavs historically are fucking terrible in Summer League. Historically, the Mavs are god-awful in Summer League. Maybe Jaylen Brown gets traded. What would be the biggest name still? What would be the biggest name to get traded the remainder of this offseason? That wouldn't surprise you too much. Does that make sense? What's the biggest trade you think that there's still possibility of that wouldn't be too surprising? The biggest name. I think mine would probably be Sabonis. I think that would probably be mine. I highly doubt Jaylen Brown. Mikal, I highly doubt that. Cam Johnson could. Claxton. I think Sabonis could happen. Lowry. Bam. What would be the scenario there? Maybe the Heat make a play for some other guys. It doesn't pan out. And then they just say, all right, it's time then. Garland. So the Garland KD stuff was interesting. Some sort of mixed reporting there. But the fact that the Cavs even kind of entertained it is interesting to me, to say the least. AD, yeah, all right. DeMar will probably get traded. Zach LaVine might get traded. Sabonis to me would be the one. Because if the Kings wanted to trade Sabonis, a team would do it. He'd just go to where? And get a guy for Bam? Well, if they trade Bam, it needs to be in a tear-down effort. It can't be in we're going to replace Bam with this guy thing. Bam for Sabonis? Anyways, if you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review because I love you so much. I love you. It's ruining my life. Now that Sally said no one is getting traded, something huge is coming. I just don't know what it would be. I'm trying to think. We knew KD was getting traded. So that wasn't a big surprise, right? Like, we knew that was happening. The Bane trade was a bit surprising. Like, the Grizzlies making a move, I think wasn't that surprising. But the Bane one was out there. Yeah, Nas Reed sign and trade. You know, free agency is just so funny. Like, you look at the free agents and what? Like, Nickeil Alexander-Walker will probably be the best free agent to change teams. Right? Like, is that not probably the best player that will, like, feasibly change teams in free agency? We don't even have, like, unless I'm missing something, we don't even have, like, an Isaiah Hartenstein situation where it's like, yeah, there's this good free agent in this team that has $30 million, so that's going to happen. We don't even have one of those. All right, let me do, if you've donated in any way, I hope you're still in here. Random number generator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Boom. Number 11, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Yona, are you still in here? Yona, are you still in here? Yes or no? All the farm teams looking for... Oh, I guess Kuminga. Kuminga's the best free agent that could realistically change teams, right? It almost will certainly change teams. Yona going once, going twice. Womp, womp, womp. Logan, are you still in here? Kuminga a fraud. Logang. God damn, you guys just bailed on the fucking stream? Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, Kuminga making that much money is sickening to me. But, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Paul! This is fitting, honestly. I was honestly probably going to give it to Paul anyways. Paul, tell me you're still in here. Eastern Conference teams could be loading up right now at the conference wide open with all of the injuries. Grimes is going to re-sign with Philly. Absolutely. Hey, sorry I didn't bail. You can give me something, buddy. My Lord. Hey, they just donate and then leave. I respect it. I'm just gonna put Paul. I'm just gonna write Paul on my cast. All right. That's just what I'm gonna do. Just gonna put Paul on my cast. Paul. Hey, it's on there. Oh. There it is. The guy who was on the Wizards, he was dating that chick. What chick? What chick? Paul / young light skin. That's a lot to write on the cast. Writing on the cast was much harder than I thought. I don't know why the fuck I thought it was like paper. I don't know why I thought it was just paper. All right. All right. That'll do it for me today. We'll go, if there's any big trade or anything like that, I'll go live immediately. All right. On this channel. Should we go live tomorrow? I mean, why not? We might go live tomorrow. It might be a little bit more casual. But we'll go live tomorrow. We've got a couple of days until free agency. Like, I honestly need like a free agent primer. Honestly, I don't, like, I kind of forgot who's even available. What about for the D'Lo signing? Oh, I'll be live the moment the free agency starts. I'll be live. That's always one of the more fun moments of the day. Any playback streams? Probably not, for nothing planned. How about that? Nothing planned. I wish they had the Wings, even though Caitlin Clark's not playing. But they don't have the Wings game available tonight. And I'm hoping they do Summer League. If they do Summer League, we'll be in there like swimwear. They've got Summer League, which I'm assuming they probably do. We'll be in there. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. All of the OGs, you guys know, love you very much. Could have spent your Friday afternoon anywhere in the world, and you decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. I will chat with you all later. Love you. Bye.